Fast food employees, how sensitive are the drive-through microphones? What unexpected stuff have you heard from customers who didn't think you could hear them? Once heard someone saying, "Stay buckled, baby. You'll get a treat if you're good, okay?" And I thought they were talking to a child. They pulled up to the first window and there was a kitten in the front passenger seat trying to climb up the back. Okay, I definitely expected something sexual after the first sentence. Oof, the drunks. I worked at McDonald's for one summer. It was almost closing time and this lady pulls up, orders multiple ice cream sundaes and a bunch of other stuff. She pulls up to pay. When we told her the total, she lost her freaking mind. She kept insisting that she didn't order the ice cream sundaes, that she had literally ordered 2 minutes prior. It was ridiculous. No arguing with a drunk person. So we removed them from her order and tossed them in the trash. Usually, the managers would call the police if a drunk driver came through since it was a small town and they could be found easily. I don't think they did that night. We can hear everything. Every sneeze, cough, mouse fart, everything. Please do not shout at the speaker, speak normally. Please speak to the speaker, not your steering wheel, not your passenger, not your floorboards. Also, please don't swear at us, because once we turn our mic off, we sure as hell are cussing you out if you do it to us. I've had people curse every other word when ordering. Can I ducking get a ducking sandwich? I need some ducking fries too. Don't do that, please. I've heard parents screaming, literally screaming, at their children. It's extremely awkward when they came up to my window. The sad part is, there's nothing I can really do. I feel bad for the kids. I've had the reverse happen where the kids were incredibly unruly, and I have total sympathy for the parents. Some people's children SMH. Old folks, oh boy, I love you, but please don't come through the drive-through. We can barely hear you, and 80% of the time, you can be extremely rude. That's another thing, I really don't care how bad your day is, there's no reason to be rude to me. I didn't make you come to my store, I'm here trying to do my job and make sure you have a good experience. Don't be rude to fast food employees, most of them who work there are kids with their first job who are learning. If you have a great personality with us, we'll bend over backwards for you. We'll go out of our way to tell you how awesome you are and what a wonderful customer you are. TLDR. We hear everything, the store hears everything. Don't shout at us, and be nice. Edit. If your phone is connected to your car, we can hear the phone conversation. Don't come through the drive-through on your phone. One time a lady was on the phone with a girlfriend talking about how she'd just found out she was pregnant, but didn't know how to tell her husband that it was his brother's baby. My husband had a lady come through one time, also on the phone, talking about how her recent STD test had come back positive, and she was so relieved she was clean. I don't think most people realize that if your car is pulled up on the sensor, that triggers the microphone. We can hear what you're saying the entire time. I have heard conversations about abortion, people complaining about a long line, straight up bad-mouthing my coworkers, etc. I advise you to put your window back up after you order lol. Also, you don't have to scream into most microphones. Had my eardrums blown out a few times. Not fast food, but I work in a bank and our drive-up window is not separated from the rest of the teller line area, and we don't use headsets since there's only one window. This means when you pull up and I take your transaction in, there's no magical sound barrier that appears and everyone in the lobby can hear you. Most of the time, the person is on the phone, but with most cars having Bluetooth connections, both sides of the conversation can be heard. I've heard sexual things, fights, probably confidential doctor/patient convos, like a therapist, or people straight up complaining about us or the teller helping them specifically. One guy was talking to his passenger about how ugly the girl at the window was while she was standing right there and could literally hear him. When you pull up to any drive-through, whether it's fast food, the bank, the pharmacy, etc., hang up your phone call, do your transaction, and just sit there quietly. I don't work in fast food now, but I did when I was a teenager, and the things I saw and heard. Mostly people not realizing that after they order, you can still hear them if their car is still by the microphone sensor. You hear people having private conversations, nothing really outrageous. It's what I saw. Once a guy orders and then pulls up to the window. I told him the total, he was smirking at me, which was not really that uncommon. It was when he handed me the money when I saw the back of the girl's head bobbing on his crotch. When he saw that I saw, he just winked at me. I was speechless and tried to bag his order as quickly as possible. I work at a McDonald's and these are ridiculously sensitive. I had a headset in today and we heard a mom threatening to belt her kid over the head if she didn't decide what she wanted to eat. Then when we asked what she wanted and she said something like quote, "I'm just taking my baby girl for a snack," talking about her kid, "She'll have a cheeseburger thanks." As if we didn't just hear her threatening to give her baby girl the belt 5 seconds ago. Background noise. The sound of your car engine, your radio, the wind blowing across the speaker, that stupid bird in that bush. Car engines are the worst culprit, especially with men. Men's voices are often pitched lower and the tone is so close to the level the engine makes that the electronics in the audio filtering system can't compensate. Pitch your voice a little higher when you order and you'll probably have better luck. I'm putting a helium tank in my truck just for such occasions. People might not realize that everyone in the fast food place hears you, not just the person you're talking to. At least at my Wendy's we all wore headsets. This is kind of related to the question, but while I worked there, it was pretty common for a customer at the drive-thru to get impatient and disrespectful with the person taking their order, which was almost always a woman at that position. To their surprise though, whenever this would happen, my manager, who was a very large man, would turn on his mic and start laying into the guy about how he can't treat his employees like that. The shock you could hear in their voices when they suddenly had to confront a man about the behavior they didn't think anyone else could hear was always really funny. Sad that this is even necessary, but that's a good way to deal with assholes. I guess they will sometimes double down and be rude to the manager too though. Worked at Brown's Chicken, had a lady pull up and ask for half-pound chicken lizards. Liver? Or gizzards? I asked. Half-pound chicken lizards. Then I hear a guy next to her say, "Woman, you know it's a damn reptile." Cracked me up. But was she a lizard wizard? I am in a college town so I've heard it all. Lots of conversations about sex and drugs. Sometimes I will leave them waiting so I can listen to the rest of the conversation. This isn't my story, but my friend who works as the night manager at a local Burger King. This is sort of related to the question, but he has told me that regularly at night, he will have groups of either stoned or drunk people pull up to the drive-thru and then start talking about how they might have gone to the wrong restaurant or are craving something else to eat. However, as long as he has the raw ingredients to make something, he will always tell them he has that on the menu. Pizza? Sure. Ice cream sandwiches? Why not? Barbecue boneless chicken wings? Yes, all of that and more is on the menu when he is on shift. Then he just rings them up based off of the amount of ingredients he had to use to make their order. If you want to know how he makes certain things, just ask. How are you making a pizza at Burger King? Honestly, I haven't heard too much crazy stuff. But people don't realize if their car is souped up and has a super loud engine, that I will not be able to take their order because I can't hear. The amount of assholes in huge trucks that would get mad at me when I asked them to turn off their car is insane. I've worked at a fast food restaurant and the drive-thru was where I would stand most of the time. This place was near a train track, so if there was a train passing, it was really hard to understand what the people were saying. I've heard many rude comments of guests. They've called me dumb because I only worked at a fast food restaurant. I'm a student, so this is not my full-time job. When the drive-thru was really busy, people just started to yell out of their car window that we need to hurry. When I used to work late at night, there were always creepy old dudes or college boys trying to flirt with me. That was really uncomfortable. I just want to say it wasn't a very fun place to work. I've worked at a Dairy Queen for over a year now and have pro skills when it comes to deciphering orders on DT. I often annoy the hell out of customers because if I can't hear them, I will insist that they repeat it rather than just guess and go on with it, but it mostly just happens when they're ordering something that sounds like another thing that is on our menu. Cone versus Coke, Fry versus Sprite. Our DT speaker and mix are very good. Very few of our customers realize that we can hear everything that is going on in their car. I've heard a parent whooping the hell out of her kids, a woman on her phone fighting with what I assumed was their significant other, and a ton of crap talking about me and all my coworkers. The one that I think about most often is when a man and woman pulled up early in the morning and it was only me and one person in the kitchen, but we both had headsets. He starts to order and I can hear her talking to someone on the phone. I'm guessing she hung up and it was pure and sudden chaos. Him. Can I have 2 steak finger baskets? Her. You touched my baby, how ducking dare you, you pedophile piece of crap. Him. I didn't do anything to her. Her. You're going to jail. I ran to the window that faces the speaker and by that time, she had went into full mama cougar mode and proceeded to beat the crap out of him while I could still hear it all. He stepped on the gas and the last I saw of them was as they rounded the corner onto another street. She was still hitting him. I still wonder what exactly happened and if that baby is okay. My first job was McDonald's. Worked drive-through mostly. Those big lifted diesel trucks are the worst. Ding. Rah-rah-rah. Right in your ear. Then sometimes people get pissed at you because we can't hear you over your damn engine. Just turn it off. Or the people who roll up and scream, hello 1 second after rolling up. Yes, I know you are there because I can hear your engine and the ding in my ear. I guess I might be a little bitter from that job still. TL:DR, yes we can hear you unless you have a big diesel engine, please turn it off. Also, chill for a bit and wait for us to say can I help you. We're probably taking money from someone in front of you or filling drinks for another order or just taking 15 seconds because we've been doing orders for 2 hours straight non-stop. This is the inverse, but it's too good of a story not to tell. I worked at a deli in Pizzeria for a few months when I was 19. At one point we had a woman come in and order a Greek salad. I get her order and hand her the packet of Greek dressing. These are the big Ken's packets of dressing mind you. She barks out, 2 ranch. Which is such a confusing statement, 1 because ranch isn't a noun on its own, and 2 because who the Jew puts ranch on a Greek salad, that I asked sorry. She goes I want 2 ranch. At this point I informed her that the second packet would be 59 cents. Company policy. She looks at me like I kicked her firstborn and snatches the 1 packet of ranch out of my hand and starts to sulk back to her table. I hadn't noticed this whole time that my mic that I used to call out orders wasn't properly clicked up and everyone in the restaurant had heard this whole interaction mumbled over the speakers. They also all heard me say, well, God forbid your fat ass doesn't get its daily bath on ranch dressing. I lost the job, but it was worth it for her face. Crap job anyway.